Never thought I'd be too much.
Let me guess. You burned some bridges on your way out and now have to cross.
Can we talk about something else?
Of course. Though you of Nobel utilization that we played into our enemy's hands. And what did we get in return? We delayed the inevitable. Who has time for progress? We need results, and we need them yesterday. Maybe there's no right. Well, just has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Adiran loyalty from your nature, as you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual? Yeah, I don't know. I've got this idea, but come loose. It's just it's true. Doing right. She did my thing. Doing crooks. I don't really trust you. Just anyway, that thing could be nothing.
So, we found a map to the... Well, that'll be cold comfort when everyone thinks I'm crazy for saying I've been there. I figure either it's a complete dud and there's nothing really there. Who knows? Or whatever you're having must be really disturbing. How do you know they won't just get worse? Don't do anything stupid, all right? Anyway.
Discuss what you did in the ruins. You destroyed something that was... I just remember that you had a reason for what you did. Nothing infuriates me more than to do what Ludwig wants, but... I'm not unhappy with what you did. Those ruins were literally... They had real Ekidans in there. Think of how far my research would have shot forward. But... we would have had to sacrifice so many for it. And I can't say that's a fair trade. Of course. Common reaction to being set upon by dream thralls is to placate another monster.
Give the Envoy more credit than that. She did.
I'm sorry, Envoy. I'm just... This is my life's work. And that skeletal maniac attacked my home. I'm just a little more raw than I... It's alright. I don't trust me. Then... We spoke to ancient Ekidans in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and answer. True. Though switching it up might be more confusing to those not in the know. I'll figure that out before my research gets published. But to go through the trials of... Must you try to ruin my fun, dearie? Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return to her domain. We met Ringrim. The Ringrim. Master illusionist of the Circle of Archmagi. And I impressed her. She even offered to make me her apprentice. It's especially when your teacher is an expert. It doesn't feel real. But it is. Oh, Handra's titties. What am I going to do? If I take the apprenticeship, I'll have to leave Quilici and Fjord. And what about my study of the goddess? I'm not a kid anymore. I can't do everything all at once. There are only 26 hours in a day. I love my light open arms and a warm bed. I don't want to give that up. But this is something I never even dreamed of. But it's big. It won't leave room for much else. And I'm too old to... Oh, Envoy. What would you do? True. No one else is exactly excited to pick up that torch. One day, I could even have an entire treatise, so that their story lives on, long after me. Or maybe I'll get my own apprentice. Leave them to do the tedious writing while I do all the fun stuff. Thank you, dearie. I can't promise I'll act on it, but I really appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to write a letter to Quilichi. He'll never believe me.
That back there in the rooms, that was what? I'm not sure what that means exactly. Right, Nance. The important thing is that you did it. It's not that I didn't trust, but I really do hope this was the last time. That kind of humidity does terrible things to my beard. Anyway. Until next time.
Did someone...
Who needs fabric? Oh, you're back.
I unfurl my blossoms for you.
Watch your back out here.
She sent word, said you were good to go. But she didn't sound right, Envoy.
To the water in the dark, to the roots, away into the nothing.
Things are still strange. I'd watch my step if I were you.
While that part is probably the closest Ludwig gets to friendly, I'm not looking forward to our paths crossing again.
Frankly, I'll take any opportunity we get to ruin Ludwig's day.
I'll say this much for the Inquisitor. She's stubborn, like a rat. And we gave her everything she wanted.
I'd say we shouldn't stay on her bad side, but I'm not sure she has any other sides.
You know her better than any of us. What's your read?
That might be easier said than done.
Well, the joke's on her in any case. Ludwig won't get very far without that map. She'll be scratching her skull.
Somehow, I don't think she'll let that stop her for long.
And Ludwig definitely strikes me as someone who doesn't leave food on her plate. Right, and the Steel Garrote is famously level-headed. Just look at Fior.
Ludwig and her Steel Garrote have the numbers and the power, but we have spunk and a map. And that might just be enough to find the garden before she does.
We're all competing for the same thing. A place we barely understand, with no guarantees of what we'll find there. Still, I am determined to reach the garden, above all else.
Ugh, that's just a pile of Sokka. Generally, debatable, but about the garden, definitely. You won't find a blessed thing. This wild beetle chase of yours is fun. To get to the garden, you have to go through Galawain's tusks. Land is made of lava and acid. It wants to eat life. So it's tough to in at the last minute. This is a long trek. On foot, through a land barely stored life. I don't get able to know this how you think it will. Oh no, Nimdut. I do know whatever I come up with is better than do what my head tells me to do. I better do what I do. You need for that.
Let's just take a breath, Marius. You don't mean that.
I said, come get me when it's time to go.
Poor Marius. Something's really rattled him.
I've never seen Marius like this. Something's going on with him, but I don't know what.
With him. Or if not gentle, understanding.
Well, hopefully Marius will be okay soon. We have to get going if we want to get to the garden before Ludwig.
We won't get far unless we look after each other. Now's your chance.
I know what you're gonna say. Marius, you need to slow down. Think about your feelings. Well, I don't want to think about my feelings. So just let me be alone for a bit. I will. Count on that.
Marius, you told me Mount Forja smelled like a basket of rotten eggs, but you should have told me it smells like a ship's latrine after a month at sea.
Always thought that if I ever came back here, I'd never...
It's okay, we're all here with you. Deep breaths.
I'm fine. Just need to... I just need a moment.
Quiet, you! Listen our bodies, but not our voices.
Does this amuse you, seeing your kin caged like beasts?
No true kin would desert Solace. All we have are our oaths to Nandru, and you broke them.
Right. They're not the only ones either.
The damn oaths again. You might as well be the one in chains. Our founder, Nandru, didn't intend for his people to starve. I'd bet you my kidneys he didn't build Solace Keep so we can die of starvation in it. No, he would have wanted us to live.
Honestly, I don't care anymore. I'm getting too hungry to even think.
What's going on here is Pargrunen business. Stay out of it, Outlander.
Yeah, don't need a blessed outsider pretending they know anything. Move along.
Can't imagine why you even set foot here. These are Pargrunen lands, last I checked.
Meaning mind your tongue and your judgment while you're here, outsider. These folk have done much to deserve their cages.
Strange that you think we'd care about your opinion. Saka, get out of here.
And you assholes need to feed us.
There's no food. We barely have decent meals ourselves. Why waste any of it on people who won't stay and fight?
Saka, don't tell the outsider that! These bastards wanted to abandon the keep. I'd starve myself for my disloyalty then. Do you want anything else? I'm sick of looking at you.
Fine. Anything to be done looking at you. Follow the main road north and then east. You'll find some dirt paths to follow after you hit the cliffs. Now mind your business.
Envoy, last time I was here, I was fully convinced I'd never be back. For who? You? No. Me? Maybe. I left Solace under the cover of darkness, through an exit only me and a friend of mine knew about. More importantly, I left without permission, which means I more or less exiled myself. I did. Might come a time when I'm ready to talk about it. You'll see when we get there. Solace isn't the most welcoming place, even to those who live there. Anyway. What do you want to talk about? This place was named after Galawain, but I always thought Magrin held more sway here. Lava, high temperatures, and a giant blessed volcano in the middle of the region tell me the goddess of fire had something to do with it. Even Solace has the good sense to send a prayer or two Magrin's way. Hard not to when your home is surrounded by Magrin's fury, but sure, give Galawain the glory. Maybe that's why Magrin's so blessed angry all the time. Let's see. First rule in Galawain's Tusks is to be grateful for every breath. The air itself is poisonous here, if you breathe enough of it. Don't overexert yourself, and keep your heartbeat slow. A wet cloth over your mouth and nose will help. Remember that this place wants to kill you at all times. Act like your every step is putting you in danger. And make sure to clear your eyes, ears, and nose every now and then. Ash builds up faster than you'd expect. Right, changing the subject. Thanks for talking.
We're on the precipice of something magical. You can feel it, can't you? The garden is within our grasp. All we need now is the courage and wisdom to brave the unknown. Your confidence is refreshing. I almost hate to ask, but are you afraid of what's to come? I'm not judging, just curious. Indeed. Whatever happens in the garden, it won't be the end of our problems. I believe, for the first time in ages, that I am not afraid. I used to care so much about discovery, invention, achievement. But deep down, I was afraid. Afraid that I wasn't living up to my potential. You've been paying attention. Since we met, everything I believed has been proven wrong. That the island can be controlled. That I alone can fix it. Even my parents. Gods. They really had no idea what they were doing. Just like me. And look how that turned out. I'm so tired of being afraid. I need to accept my limitations or embrace them. Even if I'm wrong again, that's part of the journey. I have no idea where it leads. And for the first time, it's fine. Perfectly fine. Did I? Huh. I don't know what I expected. Feels nice. Glad I could get that off my chest. We have bigger problems to worry about, but I appreciate these little moments. You have an inquisitive mind. I respect that. If you ever feel your education is missing something, I'd be happy to teach you what I know. All you have to do is ask. Excellent. The Imperial Court taught you well, but I suspect there were gaps in what they call an education. If there's anything you've been dying to learn from an animancer, now is the time. Unfortunately, that can take a lifetime. It's the sad reality of our work. But I'll give you the short version. Now, let's begin. You, drifted off for a moment. Were you paying attention? Well, at least you're honest. No harm done, of course. I don't mind if you catch a few winks. Besides, a little nap is good for the soul. I slept through my share of lectures, and look how I turned out. That's all I have to teach you for now. I'll chime in if anything else comes to mind. The better question is, can I still be an animancer? Could I even make a difference? By burning Fior Messiverno, the Steel Garrote declared that animancy is not welcome in the living lands. And then there's the Dreamscourge, unraveling civilization as we know it. I don't know where that leaves me. The work my parents started may have no end in sight. We don't even know if the living lands can be tamed politically, much less spiritually. She thought a lot of things. Not all of them were true. All I know for certain is that I've been going about this the wrong way. I should be an animancer for the right reason. With the Dreamscourge, I haven't got one. At least someone thinks so. Thank you for believing in me, whether or not I believe in myself. Until next time.
Gods. Anyone else finding it hard to breathe?
Oh dear. Focus on something else, dear. Like how terrible the Tusks smell.
We're here. Stay with us, Marius. The field. Grawatayans love to boast about how barren and rugged our homeland is. But we've got nothing on the Pargrunen living here. I can't fault your optimism, but would you think that if this was the only landscape you ever saw, day in and day out? According to Marius, his people are forbidden from ever leaving the Tusks.
I did tell you that, didn't I? Must have been drunk.
I'm all for pulling together, but that's just oppressive.
You're not alone. A lot of people in Solace would agree with you.
Exactly. It's not a home if you have to lock people in it. Ravatai has a similar problem. Between the constant storms and the rocky soil, the lands never supported us easily. So many of us find work as sailors and mercenaries. We explore the world as soldiers or as part of a trade mission. We venture out. We're encouraged to. Yeah, that's certainly part of it. Look, I'm not trying to defend or debate my empire's conduct, or yours. Everyone in the Living Lands faces struggle. But people choose that, and usually to escape something worse. Forcing people into a lifetime of hardship for the sake of principle or tradition is a different matter entirely. Never. The Pargrunen of Solace are notoriously suspicious of outsiders. Though, from the looks of this place, Solace's real concern has got to be keeping its people in, not keeping the rest of us out. Night, envoy.
Kai, can I borrow your pistol?
I don't usually lend it out. Why?
I was hoping to make a few simple modifications.
What kinds of modifications?
Well, I was going to start by removing the trigger,
What?
then snapping off the hammer,
Are you serious?
and finally stuffing the barrel with tree sap.
Why would you do this?
Because I caught you reading my diary, that's why.
Giada, I promise on my life and on every life my soul has ever lived, I will never touch your diary again. And I'm very, very sorry.
Wonderful. In that case, you can hold on to your little toy.
Well, that was hard to watch. You okay?
I will be.
And he'll have learned a very valuable lesson, too.
Schemes in the dark. The mountains shift in unknowable shapes. The sulfur scalds. We do not like to linger in this place. Beast of treachery smells you. It stalks you across the land. A sword for a settlement, the scorpion promises to protect. Rose today, thorn tomorrow. Friend or foe, the branches shake. Another time, a distant ache. A hidden strike, a bond bleeds in silence. Have your hands known this? Shame. A scar burned in a field. Why? Flip the wings. A false promise. The safety of the cage. The venom bloomed. We wonder. What good is a vow if it can break? Trust. We have learned much dream of dandelions with two heads.
You're mine now!
I can bring back someone to help you. Please, if you just...
You'll not leap? Traveler, what business have you here with me?
That woman over by the ogre looks Adiran. Probably here against her will. Suggest we be very careful here.
Well, what is it? You and I are talking. A rare luxury for one of my kind, I've found. Because they attacked me. Because now, you and I must talk. If you care for her life, we must talk. I am ill. I am dying. But I am not beyond hope. Not if I can get a cure for my molder lung in time. Because then I shall release Gilleen.
Oh, please don't.
I'd ask you to think of Gilleen before you do. You will. I am glad that... I apologize. My breath left me. Gilleen said the caravan carried a book. One with a recipe that should cure my condition. Bring me the cure. When you do, I shall let Gilleen go free. I spent much of my strength already. I must rest. But make no mistake, I don't lack the strength to rend you if I must. I ask again, will you help me? Thank you, traveler. The caravan is northeast of here. You may speak to Gilleen too if she can be of any use. We will be here waiting.
Please, hurry. Just find whatever he needs and get me out of here. It'd be somewhere among the carts. Yes, somewhere among the carts, if it's still there at all.
Funny how we see more wrecked wagons than intact ones out here in the Tusks.
right! This one's mine.
I'll never get used to watching you do that.
Everyone okay? That island with the glowing tree. That's gotta be the garden. I don't see an easy way to get there, though. Let's look around. Maybe there's something in here. You sure do know how to show us the sights, envoy.
If it weren't so deadly and disturbing to look at, it'd be breathtaking.
So the bridge is gone, but there's another way into the garden? If there's another way, I'm not seeing it from here. And I've never seen a ship that would survive the acid sea.
Well, there's another path. Just not a path anyone told me about. Nandru was the founder of Solace Keep. If anyone knows more about him or the garden, it would be the Council of Solace. Problem is, I don't think they'd talk with you. Solace Keep doesn't like outsiders. Your godlike features will get you through the door, but that's all you'll get. Nandru had the same stuff on his face. Like the two of you were made by the same sculptor. You'd be surprised how far a resemblance to Nandru will take you in Solace. Play your cards right, and it might get you through the door. Worth a shot, anyway.
Then let's head to Solace Keep. If we hurry, we can keep ahead of the steel garrote.
Follow the road northeast and look for a giant ancient walled keep. Can't miss it. Right. If we're going, let's go.
As I live and breathe, the faithless envoy. Ludwig finds your loyalty a touch diminished. If you're looking for the Inquisitor, she's hunting a lead to the garden through its twisted silver roots. The tower calls, and it turns, and it calls, but for the roots we go, if not for the roots. The roots say your name, envoy. They say you told them to do it. Yes. Goodbye. Yes. We withdraw from the hungry thing. Blood and smoke, smoke, death. I'll stand down. I'll stand down. But my people won't. Envoy, over here.
Is someone there?
Come and get me. Is that all you got?
Find better armor. Left leg. Nah, look.
It's the envoy.
Come and get me!
See? them all.
This would be a great spot, but there are so many of them.
Envoy? I'm not ready to go to Solace. Maybe there's another way. Maybe we can fashion some kind of flying boat? Fui tu meio, Envoy. I don't know. There's just so much. I've seen that island off the coast all my life. It always felt like a legend. Like those old tales about the gods. No one has been there in centuries as far as I know. I mean, that's probably true. But this is real. I don't believe in the garden. There is something that's bothering me. Specifically, if you can spare a moment. Since we entered the Tusks, I've been getting these flashes of memory. Like there are answers in my head I can't get to. They seem to be about a village, somewhere north of Solace. Fear and sorrow, but also answers. Thanks, Envoy. It might be nothing, but it'll be nice having backup whenever I go to find it. Anyway. You too.
I've been researching the Hollowborn crisis, another spiritual plague, both similar and different to ours.
Dreadful, wasn't it? Especially the parts with the animal souls.
Could it be related to the Dreamscourge? A common ancestor, maybe?
The people of the Deerwood seemed to think that they'd angered the gods, and it was divine retribution. I highly doubt the gods would be so petty, though.
I don't know about the gods, but people sure are. I heard they turned on their neighbors. Aethasians, animancers, anyone suspicious.
According to my research, the crisis went away on its own. Something tells me we won't be so lucky.
Right. Nothing goes away on its own. Not even snaggage. Maybe we could send the wardens a message. Adherence here, Fjordburned, Solace next. Best, Marius.
But just think of all the scenery we'd miss out on.
It's Kosmin. Just let me handle this.
What? Marius? No. You must be a ghost. A curse.
Oh, that would be news to me.
You're alive. You... Asshole! You show your face now? Now?
Several times, but I hit more than I missed.
We used to be friends, or so I thought. But then this Jitule left, unannounced. No note, no nothing. Didn't even say goodbye to Iancu. And now you cozy up here, after 3 years, with an adherent godlike, no less? No offense. We all face difficulty. Yet we've stayed, except Marius. Either way, it doesn't solve how I'm going to explain this to the Council.
Let us handle the Council. You just sit here staring out into the Tusks like you were.
You know the rules. Outsiders cannot enter without express permission of the Council.
Or with an honored warden.
Which you are not. I shouldn't even be talking to either of you. It's forbidden. Ha! If those bastards were here, we'd know. And if they came for us, we'd kill them. Simple as that.
Oh, then I guess we have nothing to worry about. Solace is saved, and we didn't even have to do anything.
Then you're wasting your time. We don't have any of that plague business in our keep.
Kosmin, you're doing that thing you always do when you're lying.
I didn't lie. There haven't been any dream trolls in Solace Keep.
And once again, I'm here waiting for your butt.
But there are rumors from the living archives. Sleepwalking, mad talking. Kostya told us it was the fumes from the volcano. Look, I don't want blood on my hands. Is it really that bad?
Kosmin, Solace Keep is in real danger. Do you truly think I'd come back here for anything less?
Gods damn it. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? I'll let you in, but be warned. Solace is not as it was, Marius.
I doubt it. Nothing really changes in Solace.
You'll see for yourself. The Council isn't what it was. Keep a watchful eye. Lower it on down. Quickly now.
All that for us?
Just be aware, people of Solace are just as stubborn as its walls. Gods. Here we go.
Deep breaths, Marius. We're right here.
If it's the new recruit playing games again, I'm going to... Your face.
It's just like... No. It's the lack of sleep. It's impossible. But still...
All right. You long enough.
Wait, you're not from the hunting party. Where's the hunting party? They were supposed to be here an hour ago.
Idiot.
You look just like Nandru. You have his markings. The council is going to lose its mind.
Mihala is going to... I don't even know what Mihala is going to do. This has never happened.
I can't wait to see what the council will say. Duty won't keep us from dying.
How dare you talk to your mother that way?
Is that mud?
Welcome back to... Wodika's nails! An outsider!
Sanctuary of Nandru. Hasn't changed a bit.
It is carved from stone.
Wodika's crown, an outsider here?
Mihala is to blame. We need to open our gates to the world, lest it leave us behind. Absolutely. Can you imagine if we had access to fresh crops from... or all of the goods that pass through Paradise? No, I can't. Not with Mihala calling the shots. Then perhaps it's time for a change around here.
Mihala understands the importance of tradition. Nandru chose this place for a reason.
The council chamber is behind me. Take the lift.
Ready yourselves. Council's just up this lift.
Are they gonna throw us in the volcano if this goes badly?
If we open our gates to Outlanders, we stand to lose everything. They will corrupt our people, destroy our traditions.
Our entire society faces destruction if we don't. We need trade. We need the rest of the world.
The reason Solace Keep has stood for so long is because we've stood alone. Do not question our ways, Kostya.
I understand, Mihala. But Solace Keep is dying. Surely it wouldn't hurt to consider a different route.
We will talk about this later. We have a guest. What is the meaning of this? Who let them in here?
They're here because I vouched for them.
Marius, you're alive.
There were rumors you died, Marius. We mourned you. You shouldn't have returned.
I trust you came back to us for good reason.
We do. That's why he isn't in shackles and being brought to trial right now.
We can discuss shackles after we've talked about the Steel Groat. They're coming for Solace Keep.
Nonetheless, returning with an Adirin in tow was foolish, Marius.
Foolish? I'd call it treacherous.
Right, well how about we all pile on Marius after we're sure Solace is safe?
Our order has survived the threat of these lands for hundreds of years. Wardens patrol the region day and night. There's no danger in the Tusks that can catch us unawares.
They destroyed a city full of animancers. If they come for Solace, Even these ancient walls won't save you. If that's all you'll do, you might as well not do anything.
You've already destroyed one historical edifice. We heard of what you did to the ruins in Shalderskarp. Give me a reason to tolerate you for even a second longer. Indeed. But you've brought us news. Now I'm curious. What do you expect us to do for you? It sounds like you have something in mind. There is no path.
Nor has there been for hundreds of years. There was a bridge once, but it fell in Nandru's time. How do you know of our garden, Envoy?
The garden is our sacred purpose, its observation and protection, a task handed to us by Nandru himself. He once wrote that the island spoke to him, perhaps as it has spoken to you.
The Envoy does bear a remarkable resemblance to our founder, does she not?
The markings on your face, I recognized them. But I didn't want to believe an Adiran could have anything in common with Nandru.
The godlike are gone.
There's at least one left, and she's standing right in front of you.
Perhaps you are what you say, but it does not matter. We did not lie to you. The bridge has fallen. The path is long gone.
If there is another way, Envoy, you will have to discover it yourself. That is what your supposed steel garrote must be in the Tusks to find, isn't it? I fear you and they will be disappointed.
It has and always will be our duty to watch over the garden. Even if we knew of the potential of another path, we couldn't tell you. Your facial markings might be similar to Nandru's, but we will not change our ways for an accident of flesh and cartilage. You are an outsider and will remain one forever. The agent of an empire bent on destroying all that we have built. Envoy, you and those like you are why we are here. The Wardens exist to stand in your way.
Envoy, be practical. You may be uniquely capable, but there are hundreds of us. There are 3 of you.
Goodbye, Envoy. Kostya, see the Envoy out of our halls. Enough time has been wasted on inconsequential matters.
With all due haste, Mihala.
And Marius? Don't stay gone so long next time.
If this is the kind of warm welcome I can expect, I can't wait to come back.
Follow me, Envoy.
Right. I warned you they'd be useless. Or maybe I didn't, but I thought about it. You'd be better off tracking the steel garrote. At least they're not useless bureaucrats.
Politicians are alike everywhere, aren't they?
Envoy, I just wanted a word before you went on your way. I wanted to apologize for what happened in the council chamber. The situation here is desperate. We have more mouths than food. The old sicken, the young suffer. But Mihala, she... well, she's a devoted warden to her core. I think she'd rather we starve than ask for help. Of course. Our people starve and grow ill. And it's all because Mihala insists duty to the dead means more than the living. She won't let our people leave, or speak with outsiders, or trade for the resources we need. There is no reasoning with her. Anything that doesn't strictly serve our oath to Nandru is treason of the highest order. It's why I play my part where she can see. I don't want to risk her wrath. She's a zealot. She forgets that doctrine is worth less than living. Much like your Inquisitor Ludwig, I suspect. Two sides of the same miserable coin. Mihala has firm principles, and I respect the strength of them. But it's all so pointless. If we stay in this keep, we will surely die. Neither our oaths nor this keep will prevent our people from starving. Change must happen. We need to leave the keep. Do you understand me? The keep decays, and we drown in a rot. The wardens defend a corpse against that which would revive it. We will not last here much longer. Not without food, building materials, medical supplies. I let Nadiran trade caravans slip past our patrols, but that's hardly enough. We need so much more. All of which your ambassador in Paradis could provide. If I could only start the conversation. Information. You're looking for another path to the garden. I don't know if there is one, but I know who might. You were right, you know. The Stilgarot are in the mines at Mount Forja, looking for the garden even as we speak. If they haven't found what you're looking for, they will soon. I hear their commander is a determined woman. I lied to you. I'm sorry for that. I didn't intend to make you look like a fool. But I couldn't let Mihala know the truth. She would have had us rushing headlong to our deaths with no thought for how this situation could advantage us. The garden does not matter to me. Whether it's you or the Stilgarot who find it, I don't care. Forget duty. Duty cannot feed our children. Duty cannot keep us safe.
Can't argue with him on that.
The Inquisitor is a questionable creature, but she might be all that stands between us and doom. She has the Ambassador's ear. With her support, he might agree to trade with us. It doesn't matter how reasonable he is if I don't have his ear. I am an aging dwarf from a small, fanatical order on the ass end of a volcanic wasteland. Against Mihala's wishes, I have written to him many times. He refuses to lend his ear. But if a powerful ally were to speak on my behalf, there might be something I could offer him. Something like the keep.
You give them the keep? Have you lost your Sundan mind?
Solace Keep is just a place. You're looking for a way to help your people, aren't you?
The keep. Its inane traditions. None of that means anything to me. I want to offer up Solace Keep to Adir and the Stilgarot in exchange for goods and gold.
That's a sensible trade in my book.
Its existence has cost us so much. The least it can do is buy a future for our people. That is my most fervent hope, Envoy. Mihala believes your empire cannot see us as anything but rivals. After Fior, I suspect you Adirans think of the people of the Living Lands as little more than bugs to be crushed. If you think of us at all. An agreement may protect us from dying from deprivation, and perhaps also keep us safe from Adir's hunger. Yes, and that change would be an excellent one. We would be free of this keep, and able to explore, to breathe again. It might seem a foolish idea, but better to be a fool who tried than a coward who did not. I thought you'd empathize with this more. Your quest for the garden is also a fool's errand. You are not the first person to have said that. I want you to get what you want, Envoy. My hope is that you don't kill the Inquisitor before I get what I want too. I would never ask you not to defend yourself, Envoy. In any case, the Steel Garrote are at the Mount Forja mines. To get there, head west across the primordial depths. Do as you will. I believe the Pargrunen and the Adirans can forge a mutually beneficial alliance. That will not happen if there is unnecessary bloodshed. Also, well, if you happen to head north, you might pass by the Living Archives, a monastery dedicated to preserving our history. The monastery hasn't been in touch in days, and I can't spare a warden to check on them. Oh, please, look in on them, if you can.
Right, I get it. He wants us to run his errands.
I do, Marius, because I trust you. And by extension, I trust the Envoy. Is that so outrageous? You were missed here. Whatever the front I put forward may have led you to believe.
You have a funny way of showing it.
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious, Envoy. They are to the north of Solace Keep, along the main road. And beware, if my warden's reports are accurate, there are a considerable number of Zarips between here and there. Look for Elder Grigor at the Archives. He should be able to give you a full accounting. I pray nothing terrible has happened. Thank you for this, Envoy. You are more than the villains your people are made out to be.
He's in a tough position, but I believe he's trying to do right by his people.
Any news, Andrada?
Sorry, Geoffrey. Captain. No, the Council's still going at it. You know how Mihala is.
Well, sucker. Fine. Come find me when they're free. Won't be able to do anything until I talk to Mihala.
Of course, Captain.
Feel like making...
Oh, great.